Welcome to the Quality Management in an Organization, Unit 13, provided by London Management Qualifications, UK. What we are going to look at it, there are a few learning outcomes should be covered in the quality management in an organization. The first learning outcome, which explains the understand the concept of total quality management. This learning outcomes will have a certain elements to cover, which we called assessment criteria. The learning objective of this session would be divided into 4 elements. 1.1 discuss the importance of a quality within an organization. 1.2 which explains the concept of total quality management. 1.3 discuss the theories of total quality management. 1.4 which will analyze the difficulties associated with the implementation of TQM. We need to look at it why quality is an important factor in an organization. The quality is critical to satisfy your customers and retaining their loyalty, so they continue to buy from you in the future. When the customers are not happy with the product and service you offer, there is a rare cases we have seen. Most of the people doesn't come back to buy in the same organization because they are not happy with the quality. So the quality products make an important contribution for the long-term revenue and profitability of the organization. So this particular quality also enable the customers to charge the companies to charge and maintain the high premium prices. So if you look at so many airlines which operates as a premium services, for example the British Airways, so they will be charging a high prices offering a service and its quality towards the first class customers. So this is one of the example you can see that. 1.1, if you are going to look at the detailed discussion of the importance of the quality within an organization, it's going to have a focus of the different elements and the dimensions. So we can look at it, the product quality dimensions, how would be differs from the service quality dimension. The performance, which is a return on a mutual fund investment, efficiency with which a product achieves its intended purpose. So if you look at that, the better performance is usually synonymous with better quality. So the performance mean when the products offer its performance as we expect, so that means the perseverance of the quality is there. The features which include many of the bells and the whistles contained in the product. That means if you are going to visit to any of the television or computer retail store, for example KAORU in UK, that will reveal some of the features that are surrounding system, for example, or HD TV or capability of the functions, or maybe 3D or size of the TV, what you are looking at. And also look at another example of the iPhone. The customers, when they are willing to buy that particular iPhone, they are looking at the different features of the iPhones. So these are the features very much important for the customers to choose what kind of product and service they want and how it's differ from the other functionality of the product. The reliability is the propensity for a product to perform consistently over its useful design life. What's that mean? This is very much emerged. We call it as reliability management based on the application of probability theory to the quality. The particular product is considered reliable if the chance that it will fall and fail during its design life is a very low. For example, if you are going to buy a refrigerator which has a 2% chance of failure in a useful life of 10 years, so we say that probably 98% reliable on that product. So the conformance, which is an adherence to the certain numeric dimension for the product's performance. The conference, in a practical sense, the traditionally, which is the dimensions of the quality. When a product is designed, certain numeric dimension for the product's performance are established. So, for an example, the capacity. If you are going to buy a cooker or if you are going to buy a washing machines, the capacity would be mentioned as 2 liter, the cooker, the rice cooker. Or if you are going to look at some of the washing machines before you buy, so you always prefer to see what is the capacity of that washing machine. Is it washable with the 8 kilogram of the clothes? Or how much speed, what is the size, and what is the durability, how long is going to be last long. So these are the conformants, they are going to look at it. If you look at the other part of the product quality dimensions, which is durability. The durability, which is a degree to which a product tolerates stress or trauma without failing. So durability as an example of a product that is not very durable is light bulb. If you look at the light bulbs, they are damaged easily and cannot be repaired. In contrast, a trash can is very durable product that can be subjected to much wear and tear. So if you look at the durability, the how long the bulb is going to be workable conditions. So once it is damaged, which cannot be repaired, so that means the durability is very less. The serviceability, that's the second, the another part of the quality dimensions, the ease of repair for a product. So what they are looking at here, the product is very serviceable if it can be repaired easily and cheaply. Many products require services by technicians, such as the technician who repairs your personal computer, for example. If this service is rapid, that means quicker, or courteous, or easy to acquire, or competent, the product generally is considered to have a good serviceability. So whenever you call any of the company, if you are going to hang on the phone for long hours, and if they are not going to put you through the right department, and it's very much difficult to get you some of the appointment which you need very immediately to get your product serviced, that means the company doesn't focus exactly on the quality dimensions. So the customers are not satisfied with the product and the service they offer. Aesthetic is one of the quality dimension here, which is explain the degree to which product attributes are matched to consumer preferences. So we can see that aesthetics as an example. When you buy a car, most of the cars been produced with the quality leather car seats, because which is attributes towards the customer, the people who prefer to have the leather seats. Most of the companies that produce the car with the leather seats exactly because of their preferences. The perceived quality, which is another important dimension of the product. A customer's understanding of the goodness of a product. That means the perceived quality, we can witness an example of the effect of perceived quality every year in college football polls that rank teams. In many cases, the rankings are based on past records, team recognition, university tradition, and other factors that are generally poor indicators of team quality on a given Saturday. So the perceived quality, how the customers have their perceptions towards the quality in any of the organization. If you look at the service quality dimensions, there are variable dimensions which is available, the tangibles. The tangible is the physical appearance of the service facility, the equipment, the personnel, and the communication material. For example, if you are going to visit any of the hotel for a stay for a night, for example, if you see any of the yellowed lines, that would be lines that will be treated as a low for quality, because when the customers look at any of the appearance, physical appearance in a service sector, that's going to tell you how far they are maintaining the quality based on the appearance. So this is one of the perceptions every customers will have. So we call it as a tangible dimensions of the service. Service reliability is the ability of the service provider to perform the promised service dependably and accurately. So service reliability, for example, a firm might hire a consultant based on a reputation alone. So most of the people, for example, accountancy firm. So there are few accountancy firm which is very well known in the market. So the company always um, move towards their service because of the well known in the market, because of the reputation itself. So if that consultant deliver what the customer wants, the customer will be satisfied and pay the consultancy fee. So if the consultant delivers something other than what the customer expect, the customer will not pay the consultancy fee at all. So you can see that service should be reliable and the customer should be satisfied in this concern. Responsiveness, the willingness of the service provider to be helpful and prompt in providing a service. So this is one of the important aspect of the service quality dimension. Whenever you had a chance to call your bank for any of the service, you just think about it. How long did it take for a response? Whether your problem taken care of very quickly, or did you have to wait while you listen to elevator music for long hours? Does your service provider always respond to you within the 3 rings of the phone without forwarding your call to another locations? So you can feel about your experience how the company has given the priority as part of the responsiveness, so which is taken as an important quality dimensions. If you look at the assurances, the knowledge and courtesy of employees and their ability to inspire trust and confidence, how the courtesy of an employee will lead to the customers to trust and inspire towards the services. So this is assurance. If we needed a heart surgery, for example, you probably would not opt for a doctor who appeared forgetful and disorganized during an office consultations. Rather, you would want assurance that doctors is competent and very well organized. Or if he, at the time you feel the doctor who is not well organized, and you will lose your trust on his ability to provide the service. If you look at the empathy, empathy is all about the caring, individualized attention from the service firm. So the empathy is one of the example you can think of the hotel industry, the restaurant. Probably the empathy would be from the employee towards the customers. When the employee is taking care and individualized service is given, the customer is always happy to come back and get the service from the same organization. If you look at the functional perspective on quality, there are different perspectives we are going to look at it. The organic view of the organizations. That means, if you look at the human body, the human body works as a central nervous systems that will help to communicate from the different parts. The firm do not have the magnificent communication network to coordinate activities that human bodies have actually. So for that reason, every organization should have constantly improve their communications, recognizing fundamental differences between how different functions view quality is an important first step in understanding and resolving problems which is associated with the mismatches of the quality perception within an organization. So, in this organic view of the organization is trying to emphasize each and every function of the organization should see the quality as an important part, and they should have a strong relationship within organization to achieve its objective. If you look at a supply chain perspective, it has a three chain model. The global supply chain model, which consists the upstream process, which is indicated by supply chain management, core process, which is operation management perspective. The downstream is the customer relationship management. In recent years, if you look at the supply chain management, has moved to the forefront as an importance. This is largely due to the opportunity for cost savings, along with the quality and service improvements. There are many important quality-related activities that are part of supply chain management. So we can discuss that later in a different process. If you look at the operations perspective, it's a systematic view, it's a systems view. The system view, it says understanding the product quality is the result of the interaction of several variables such as machines, labor, procedure, planning and management. The system view look at as an overall picture. It's not looking at one of the aspect as a machine or labor all alone. So it's a kind of integration, so interaction of several variables. Machine, labor, procedure, everything has to be together. Then only the product or the service could provide the quality dimensions, which really focuses the management on the system as the cause of quality problem. So the system as the cause of quality problem means historically the view of operations managers has become externalized. The customer needs to become more central in the thinking of many operations managers, who are still tend to be too product focused. What will happen? This will occur as operations management becomes more service oriented. Marketing perspective. In marketing, activities involved with directing the flows of products and service from the producer to the consumer. So the marketing is really focused on some of the activities which involve with directing the flows of products and the service from the producer to the consumer. So how the particular product is distributed from the producer to the consumer. This is the marketing perspective. So if all customers are satisfied, sales increase definitely. Therefore, more firms are focusing on relationship management, which increases the importance of high level of customer service and after sales support. So marketing perspective is really focused on the customer relationship management, because the customer relationship management really help the organizations to satisfy the customers and delivering the value to the customer. So perceived quality in the marketing perspective, the customer's view of quality is an important factor. Another perspective has been highlighted here, which is a human resource perspective. So this perspective really emphasizes on the human being, that means the employees of an organization. So moving decision making to the lowest level possible in the organization. This human resource perspective trying to emphasize consider each and every employees they are working at a different level of the organizations. That could be a strategic level, middle level, or the low level. So moving decision making to the lowest level possible in the organization would be a strategic advantage. The organizational design of reward system, pay system, organization structure, the compensation, training mechanism, and employee grievance arbitrations. So if you look at all of the elements which has been described in the organizational design, that will help the company to move towards the quality. So the human resource perspective is trying to emphasize that the way you design your organizational structure or the pay system or rewarding system that will enable each and every employee to consider the quality because of their own satisfactions being given by the company. Job analysis. This is another way of looking at the human resource perspective. Job analysis is all about collecting detailed information about a particular job. So job analysis could be divided into job description and person specifications. So job analysis will try to emphasize when you have your human resource, that means the employees, will have a required skills and the knowledge and the attributes towards the quality. So the quality dimension will not have a negative impact. Therefore, the human resource perspective is really highlights the different elements over here. So employee empowerment. So every employee has to give the authority and the autonomy in order to make decisions. Organizational design, which is very much important, which is another perspective under the human resources. The job analysis, that is also very much important because the job analysis is going to tell the HR managers what are the skills and the knowledge and attributes should be needed in order to perform the required task. This is where the human resource management focus on the talent and the individuals to retain in the company for a long time. Now, we are going to look at 1.2. The 1.2 explains the concept of total quality management. Example, the three spheres of a quality. The quality control, the quality assurance, and the quality management. These are the three different dimensions, three different perspectives we are going to look at it. The quality control, based on the scientific method. The quality assurance, these are the activities very much associated with guaranteeing the quality of a product or service because you are giving assurance for the people, those who are buying your product and service, they can feel the quality of a product. The quality management trying to emphasize ties together the control and assurance activity. So it's trying to emphasize you need to have a good tie together with the control and the assurance of the activities. 1.3 discuss the theories of total quality management. So we are going to look at the different perspective about the total quality management has been discussed by the people over here. So discuss the theories of total quality management. We can base in the two ways. The theories are established in one of the two ways. One method of doing it as an induction and deductions. These are the two approaches we always considered. A theory generated by observation and descriptions we call as the induction process. The more common theoretical approach used by the researcher is the deduction method. Using a deduction method, the researchers propose a model based on pre-research and design an experiment to test the theoretical model. These studies follow the scientific method, which has been discussed in the chapter 1 anyhow. Many of the concepts and models proposed in this chapter are developed by induction. Therefore, when considering the concept put forth by experts such as DEMING, JURAN, and Crosby, note that their principles are based on years of experience with a wide variety of firms that have improved the quality. Their models and principles are also laden with personal biases, judgments, and values. So, there are limitations to the modes and the models, what we are going to discuss in the next slides. If you look at the Deming's quality dimensions, he really stressed the consumers are well served by insisting that service and product providers deliver high quality. So he believed that the more consumers demand high quality products and services, the more firms will continually aspire to higher level of performance. In fact, this has happened in the United States as well. As opposed to that past, consumers now expect high quality products at a reasonable cost. So if you look at that, each and every point has been put forward here. He's emphasized gained credibility because of his influence on Japanese and American industry. The Deming is very much well known for his emphasis on the management of a system for quality. His thinking was based on the use of statistics for continual improvement. He provided lectures on statistical quality control to the Japanese Union of the Scientists and Engineers after World War II. So this is all about the Deming's, the background of the quality, how he perceived the quality dimensions. When you look at in detail, he has given about 14 points of management, quality management, total quality management. Deming believed that the historic approach to quality used by American management was wrong in one fundamental aspect, which is a poor quality was not the fault of labor. It resulted from poor management of the system for continual improvement. So his view on equality is based on the management because of the poor management, not because of the fault of a labor. If you look at that, it might now seems very obvious that the Deming told this, it was relevant to the managers. If you look at the first point, what he has mentioned over here, the constancy of a purpose means the management commits resources over the long haul to see that quality job is completed. So create constancy of purpose towards improvement of a product and service with the aim to become a competitive, stay in business and provide jobs. This is one of the 14 points of management that Damin has given here. Adapt a new philosophy. We are in economic age. What's that mean? Because the Western management must awaken to the challenge, must learn its responsibilities, and must take a leadership of change. So this is what he's trying to achieve through his conception here, adopt a new philosophy, because the company has to have radical changes each and every time according to the environment. Number 3, it talks about the cease dependence on mass inspection to improve quality. So he's trying to eliminate the need for inspection on a mass basis by building quality in the product in the first place. Deming's alternative is quality at the source. That means all workers are responsible for their own work and perform needed inspection at each stage of the process to maintain the process control. He's trying to emphasize at the fourth point here and the practice of awarding business on the basis of price tag alone. That means instead minimize the total cost. Move towards a single supplier for any one item. That will base a long-term relationship of loyalty and trust. This is referred to as single source purchasing. This approach minimizes the number of suppliers used, resulting in decreased variability. The fifth one, the system of production includes product design, process design, training, tools, machines, process flows, and a myriad of other variables that affect the system of production and service. The sixth aspect of this management here, the people must have the necessary training and knowledge to perform their work. So, which is vitally important. The training and development has to be given by the organization when they identify there is an issue. Improve leadership. The aim of supervision should be to help people, machines, and gadgets to do a better job. So, without the management support and leadership, the quality improvements efforts will fail, of course. The eighth point, dry out fear so that everyone may work effectively for the company. For the most part, Deming was referring to those situations in which employees were fearful to change or even admit that problem existed. Many of these problems still exist because at times employees who surface problems and seek to create change are considered troublemakers or dissatisfied. It might be true that such employees are dissatisfied. Number 9. Break down barriers between departments. The people in research department, designing department, sales department or the production department, they should work together as a team to foresee problems of the production and use that may be encountered with the product or service. In many companies, the time it takes to get design and marketing concepts to market is extremely a long way process. So the breakdown barriers between the department is one of the crucial element over here. One reason for slow design cycle was the sequential or departmental approach to design. So this approach requires product designers, marketers, or process designers and production managers to work through organizational lines of authority to perform the work. If you look at the 10th point of management, as he mentioned here, extraditions only creates adversarial relationship because the bulk of causes of low quality and low productivity belong to the system and thus lie beyond the power of the workforce. If you look at the number 11, the Deming was very much opposed to work measurement standards on the shop floor, for example. Often, work standards are implemented improperly. It is obvious that if quantity becomes the overriding concern, quality suffers. If work standards are in place, employees who perform at high level might lose the impetus to continually improve because they already will have a satisfied standards. If you look at the 11, eliminate work standards on the factory floor. This is one of the example what we have discussed over here. The number 12, Remove the barriers that rob workers of the right to pride in the quality of their work. So the responsibility of the supervisors must be changed from sheer numbers to quality. Too often, hourly laborers are hired to perform only on the physical tasks assigned by the management. Such workers often suffer from low moral and low commitment to the organization. So, unskilled managers often add to this problem by reinforcing the fact that employees cannot be trusted when the decision and self determination. Number 13, institute a vigorous program of education and self improvement. We have seen that in point 6, which is referred to a training on the job. This particular point 13 relates to more generalized educations. Many quality experts have argued that firms must exhibit the capability to increase and freeze learning. Learning in an organization is a function of the creativity of employees and the capability of the organization to institutionalize the lessons learned over time. If you look at the number 14 here, put everybody in the company to work to accomplish the transformations. The transformation is everybody's job. This particular point 14 reinforces that everyone in the organization is responsible for improving quality. This again reinforces the fact that total system for improving quality is needed that includes all the people in the organization. The another model which is proposed by JURAN, he established the specific goals to be reached and plans for reaching those goals. In addition, JURAN's process assigns clear responsibility for meeting the goals and bases the reward on the result of objective. So when JURAN introduced that particular model, he was responsible for the growth of equality in the past half century. He took more strategic and planning based approach to improvement than Deming proposed, which promotes the view that organizational quality issues are largely the result of insufficient and ineffective planning for equality. So, as Demon said, the quality, which is not the issue as with the laborers, that's something to do with the management. So, he's trying to promote the view that organizational quality issues are largely the result of the insufficient and ineffective planning for equality. So he's really focusing on the planning for equality aspect. He argues that companies must revise strategic planning process and achieve mastery over these processes. So he trying to emphasize the planning process which is crucial in order to achieve the expected quality of the product and the service. So Juran has provided the trilogy with the planning, the control and the improvements together. So these are the three different aspects. It's very much important within an organization as part of the quality aspect. The planning, which is providing the operating forces with the means of producing product that can meet the consumer needs. Once planning is complete, the plan is turned over the operating forces. Their job is to produce the product as operations proceed. We see that process is deficient. 20% of the operating force is wasted as the work must be redone due to the quality deficiencies. The waste then becomes chronic because of the quality deficiencies. Control. A process-related activity that ensures processes are stable and provides a relatively consistent outcome. Improvement must be accomplished on a project by project basis. So each and every project should have the improvement at a time. This is what we call as a total quality management should be checked at each and every stage of the productions. Juran's Pareto law, he introduced one of the Pareto law here, which called the 80-20 rule. So, using Pareto laws, the majority of quality problems are the result of relatively few causes. So that means Juran's Pareto law is named after Vilfredo Pareto, an Italian economist who modeled income distributions in Milan, Italy. Pareto found out 80% of the wealth in Milan was held by about 20% of the populations, so this based him to provide the Juran's Pareto law here. This is the last model we are going to look at it, which was introduced by Ishikawa in Japan. He is a great believer in training with major contribution on the total involvement of the operating employees in improving quality. So he developed the basic 7 tools of the quality dimensions. He credited with democratizing statistics, coined the term company-wide quality control. So Ishikawa felt that to be successful, the firms must make everyone responsible for statistical analysis and interpretations. Although not strictly a theoretical contribution, the tools are presented in Chapter 10 because they are used for continuous improvement. He provided the different 11 points over here. He spent his life working to improve the quality in Japan. His ideas were synthesized into 11 points that made up of the quality philosophy. If you read that, the first point, quality begins with education and ends with the education. He's trying to say that the first step in quality is to know the requirements of the customer. So he's trying to emphasize identifying the customer's requirement is one of the aspects in order to improve the quality. The third point he's trying to say the ideal state of quality control is when inspection is no longer necessary. So remove the root cause, not the symptoms. So if you are trying to find out the symptoms, that is not going to help to improve the quality. So remove the root causes wherever the issues happen. Don't confuse the means with the objectives. And the seventh one, put quality first and set your sights on long-term objectives. The eighth point he's trying to say, marketing is the entrance and exit of a quality. This is the whole point. Top management must not show anger when facts are presented to subordinates. The 10th, 95% of the problems in a company can be solved by the 7 tools of quality control. The 11th is the last point. He said that data without dispersions informations are false data. So we are going to come back to the review now. What we have achieved so far in this particular unit. So in order to answer the particular question, you should be able to understand all of the theoretical understanding, what are the challenges total quality management has in terms of implementations. So each point, what you are going to write down as part of your assessment here, you can focus about 200 words approximately. The first point, 1.1 here, it's trying to say discuss the importance of quality within organizations. So you can write down some of the importance, why the quality is much important within the organization. Take any of the example wherever you worked, or you have more access to the organizations. Explain the concept of a total quality management. There are a few concepts, the dimensions we have looked at it, so you can discuss about that by linking towards the chosen company. 1.3 is discuss the theories of TQM. The total quality management theories we have seen provided by the different expertise. So we have talked about three people over here. So you can get some of the understanding and try to discuss what are the theories of the TQM which is available here. And also you need to analyze the difficulties associated with the implementation of the TQM. So try to find out some of the challenge or hinders that could be associated with the implementation of the TQM, because most of the people they have talked about the different perspective from the marketing point of view, human resource perspective, and the logistic supply chain perspective. So every perspective will have some limitation within themselves. So if you can look at some of the challenges, that could be the analysis point for you to consider, and you can write down what are the challenges the company is facing in terms of implementing the TQM within the organizations. Thank you.